cultivating oysters is making sure that you protect your hands. So here I have this towel. I'm going to pick, and then we're going to go through this little back area here. This is called the hinge. So I'm going to hold the oyster like so, and my knife, you can get any of these knives, little grocery stores, or you can also order them online. Amazon does sell them. These are this is a knife, oyster knife from Hama Hama, our friends over at Hama Hama Oyster Company, an amazing company as well. So we're going to go through the back hinge, and we're just going to wiggle, 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 and you're in until your knife stays firm inside that little back hinge. Now we're going to turn it as if you would be turning a key to a lock. And you hear a little pop, pop. So now the oyster is open. So what do we have to do? We want to release that oyster from the top little adductor muscle, that little muscle that's holding the shell together attached to the oyster. Without piercing the oyster too much, we want to very gently, carefully remove that top shell from the oyster, and voila. So sometimes you'll have a little bit of new growth. So this little shell in here wasn't that you didn't shuck it correctly. This is just new growth, new shell that's growing inside the oyster. So here you have a little bit of sand. Feel free to get a little brush and just clean that little sand out. That way when you have that first bite, you're not gonna have a sandy, gritty bite. Now the second step in enjoying your oyster is to release that lower muscle. So this little part right here, it's actually right where the heart is inside. Yes, oysters have hearts. You're going to release that muscle gently, scooping it out very gently with your oyster knife. And all of that brine right there, that is the holy water. That is the most delicious thing. That's what oysters really get their flavor profile from. So for example, if an oyster is cultivated in Netart's Bay, you're gonna have that nice grassy finish, little minerality, little algae notes. That's the flavor that you get from all that brine. So this is very beautiful. It really gives you a time and place to where that oyster is being cultivated in.